Blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil.
The book of Job introduces us to a man who seems to have it all. Job is a man of great integrity and moral character, someone who is deeply respected by everyone who knows him. His life is a testament to his unwavering faith and commitment to living a righteous life. Job is described as blameless and upright, a man who not only follows the commandments of God but also lives by them in every aspect of his life. His actions and decisions are guided by his deep reverence for God. He is a man who fears God and shuns evil. This means that Job actively avoids anything that could lead him away from his faith or cause him to sin. His dedication to righteousness is unwavering. He is wealthy with abundant flocks, a loving family, and a respected place in his community. Job's wealth is not just in material possessions, but also in the love and respect he receives from his family and community. Job is a man who enjoys God's favor. His life is filled with blessings, and he is seen as a pillar of his community. People look up to him for guidance and wisdom. Job's life reflects blessings and righteousness. He is a shining example of faith and integrity, someone who lives his life in a way that is pleasing to God. His life reflects blessings and righteousness. He is a shining example of faith and integrity. Job's story reminds us that God blesses those who are faithful to him. Job's story reminds us that God blesses those who are faithful to him. However, it also hints at the fleeting nature of earthly prosperity. While Job's life is filled with blessings, it is also a reminder that material wealth and earthly success are not permanent. Job's story reminds us that God blesses those who are faithful to him. However, it also hints at the fleeting nature of earthly prosperity. As we will see, life can change quickly. However, it also hints at the fleeting nature of earthly prosperity. As we will see, life can change quickly. Job's story teaches us that true faith is not dependent on circumstances. As we will see, life can change quickly. Job's story teaches us that true faith is not dependent on circumstances. It is in the toughest storms that our faith is truly tested. Job's story teaches us that true faith is not dependent on circumstances. It is in the toughest storms that our faith is truly tested. Job's unwavering faith in the face of adversity is a powerful reminder of the strength and resilience that comes from a deep and abiding faith in God. It is in the toughest storms that our faith is truly tested. Job's unwavering faith in the face of adversity is a powerful reminder of the strength and resilience that comes from a deep and abiding faith in God. His story encourages us to remain steadfast in our faith, no matter what challenges we may face. The scene shifts from earth to heaven. Here, Satan appears before God. God points to Job as a model of faithfulness.
Take away his blessings, and he will surely curse you to your face.
Satan, ever the cynic, challenges God's assessment. He argues that Job is only faithful because God has blessed him abundantly. This sets the stage for a cosmic wager between God and Satan. God, confident in Job's unwavering faith, allows Satan to test him. However, there is a limit to Satan's power. He can test Job's possessions and health, but he cannot take his life. The stage is set for a dramatic test of faith. In rapid succession, Job's world crumbles around him. One moment, he is a prosperous man blessed with wealth, family, and health. The next, he is plunged into a series of catastrophic events that strip him of everything he holds dear. Messengers arrive with devastating news. Each one brings a new wave of sorrow. Each message more heartbreaking than the last. The first messenger reports that the Sabaeans have attacked and stolen all of Job's oxen and donkeys, killing the servants who were tending them. His oxen, donkeys, sheep, and camels are stolen or killed. The fields that were once teeming with life are now desolate and empty, a stark reminder of his sudden loss. A fire consumes his sheep and servants. The flames devour everything in their path, leaving behind nothing but ashes and charred remains. The devastation is complete, and Job's heart is heavy with grief. His sons and daughters are killed when a wind collapses a house. The house that once echoed with laughter and joy is now a pile of rubble, a silent testament to the fragility of life. Job loses everything he holds dear: his wealth, his family, his sense of security, all gone in an instant. He is left alone in his sorrow, surrounded by the remnants of his former life.
Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. These words reflect Job's profound understanding of the transient nature of life. He recognizes that everything he had was a gift, and now it has been taken away. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised. In the midst of his suffering, Job's faith remains unshaken. He acknowledges God's hand in both his blessings and his losses.
Despite these unimaginable tragedies, Job's initial reaction is one of profound faith. He does not curse God or question his motives. Instead, he turns to prayer, seeking solace in his unwavering belief. He tears his robe in mourning, shaves his head, and falls to the ground in worship. These acts of grief are also acts of devotion, showing that even in his darkest hour, Job's faith is his guiding light. Job's response is remarkable. He acknowledges God's sovereignty and remains steadfast in his faith. His story is a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the power of unwavering faith in the face of overwhelming adversity. As the weight of his suffering sinks in, Job's initial stoicism begins to waver. The once steadfast man, who faced his trials with unwavering faith, now finds himself questioning the very foundation of his beliefs. The enormity of his losses, the death of his children, the destruction of his wealth, and the betrayal of his friends all weigh heavily on his heart. He sits in ashes, covered in sores, and laments his fate. His body, once strong and healthy, is now ravaged by disease. His spirit, once unbreakable, is now crushed under the weight of his suffering. He wonders what he has done to deserve such torment.
Why have you made me your target? What sin have I committed to warrant such relentless punishment? Have I become a burden to you? Is my existence now a source of displeasure to the Almighty?
His friends and family offer little comfort. Instead of providing solace, they distance themselves, leaving Job to grapple with his pain alone. They accuse him of hidden sin, suggesting his suffering is a punishment from God. Their words, meant to explain the inexplicable, only deepen Job's despair.
Job, there must be something you are not telling us. Confess, and perhaps your suffering will end. Surely this suffering is a result of some hidden sin. No one suffers without cause.
Job, unable to reconcile his suffering with his understanding of a just God, cries out in anguish. His cries echo the age-old question of why the righteous suffer. His questions resonate with anyone who has faced unexplained suffering. They touch the core of human experience, where faith and doubt collide. We see in Job a reflection of our own struggles to understand pain and loss. His story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. It reminds us that questioning and seeking answers is a part of the journey, and that in our darkest moments, we are not alone. Finally, God, who has been silent until this point, responds to Job's cries. He speaks from a whirlwind, challenging Job's limited understanding of the universe and his place in it.
Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? Tell me if you understand.
God reminds Job of his power and wisdom, highlighting the vastness of creation and the intricacies of the natural world. God doesn't explain Job's suffering. Instead, he reveals his majesty and challenges Job to trust his infinite wisdom. God's response is not an explanation, but an invitation to deeper trust. Faced with the immensity of God, Job repents of his questioning. He recognizes his limited understanding and reaffirms his faith in God's goodness.
I know that you can do all things. No purpose of yours can be thwarted.
Job's repentance is not a result of understanding his suffering, but of understanding God. God, pleased with Job's response, blesses him beyond his wildest dreams. He restores Job's health, wealth, and family. Job lives a long and prosperous life, surrounded by loved ones. His restoration is a testament to God's faithfulness and mercy. Job's story offers a timeless message of hope and resilience. It reminds us that faith is not the absence of suffering, but the strength to hold on to God even in the midst of it. Just as Job's faith was tested, our faith will be challenged. We may face trials and tribulations, moments of doubt and despair, yet Job's story encourages us to trust in God's unwavering love, even when we don't understand his ways. It reminds us that our suffering is not in vain. God sees our pain, hears our cries, and will ultimately work all things for good for those who love him.